Hello everybody, Marcos Villegas here, being joined with Abel Sanchez. We are in Los Angeles where your fighter, Carlos Cuadras, your new fighter, had a press conference. There's a big fight coming up in Inglewood, the Superfly 2 show. Tell me, how did the relationship start with you and Carlos, and how did it end up to you training him for this upcoming fight?
I was approached about 5 months ago by his manager, Salvador Ibrahim, before the Estrada fight. And for some reason, some issues in Mexico, he couldn't come out for the Estrada fight. After the Estrada fight, we met again, or he called me actually, Salvador, and asked me if I was interested. And I said, why not? I said I'd give it a try. Let's send him for 3 or 4 weeks and see how we get along. It ended up that we get along real well. Carlos works very hard. He's a social butterfly. He's always talking to, but lucky.
Always joking around too.
Always joking around. But lucky for me, we don't have fans in my gym. It's all just fighters. So, and most of my fighters are Russian. So who's he going to talk to? He's going to talk to the walls.
Has he been talking to the walls? Has he been going crazy? Like, no one's getting my jokes.
He's working so hard, and he's doing the things that we want him to do. That the talking is being kept to a limit, very limited. But saying that, that's his personality, that's who he is. But as long as he gives me in the gym what I require, the hard work that I require, I can take the talking. Just work hard.
How's Murat taking the talking? If you want to pan over here, Tino, Murat's just been here waiting for us because he wants to train. He has a huge fight in the World Boxing Super Series coming up, and we're going to touch on that too. But speaking of that, how is that dynamic?
Well, when Carlos gets a little out of line, when Carlos gets a little talking too much, Murat will say, Carlos, talk at 5 o'clock. Right now we got work to do. But that's what Carlos needs. Carlos needs guys like Murat, like Golovkin, to show him, to mentor him, to show him that it's not about the talking. It's about when we get in front of these cameras here at the press conference, that's when you need to talk. In the gym, let's get the work done. Make sure that you get the work done correctly so that when you're in front of the cameras, you can say all those crazy things and you can back them up.
He had one of the best knockouts of the year with his body shot win that he had in his last fight. Coming into this fight, I believe they're in the semifinals now, and he's one of the favorites to make it to the final. Yes. How do you see the semifinal playing out? And overall in the tournament, how do you see him compared to the people that are left?
Well, before talking about our tournament, I want to recall what happened in the Super 6 tournament 3 or 4 years ago. Unheralded 17-0 fighter named Andre Ward was nowhere to be seen in the rankings of who was going to win, ends up winning the whole thing and being dominant. So anybody can win in this tournament. They're all 8 great fighters. We're fighting a guy that's, I think, 21 or 22-0 with 21 knockouts or something like that. Yeah, a crazy record. We're fighting a difficult fight, but then again, these tournaments are that way. You don't have a choice who you're going to fight, and you're fighting the best against the best. We're fighting in Sochi, Russia on February the 3rd. With the chance to meet the winner of the Bradis Usyk fight, which happens in Latvia on the 27th of January. So we're looking forward to it. We know it's a difficult fight. We're training hard. The winner of this fight will go on to the finals and maybe be crowned unified champion, which the last unified champion was Evander Holyfield. 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And if that happens, I believe that the winner of this fight, being unified champion, will move up to fight as heavyweight. We're all hoping that it's Murat Gassiev, but it's a difficult fight. We don't know.
Gassiev, you win this next fight, knockout?
We see what's happened. I can see future.
Yeah? You like your chances, good chances, right?
50-50, I think.
You think so? Not 80-20, 70-30?
It's boxing, cruiserweight division. We never know what's happening.
Gassiev's also, our official timekeeper for this interview, as he keeps looking at us menacingly because he wants to work out. He wants to go train. Last topic, last thing, with you and gennady going into this rematch, how's the overall sense of gennady coming into the rematch? Does he feel that he has to be even more aggressive coming in? Does he feel if he just fights the same fight, he'll get a fair shake this time? Like, what's the dynamic there?
I think that, first of all, we haven't had a chance to sit down and see the fight. I haven't seen it yet. When my fighters...
The replays?
No.
Why?
What for? I got nothing to gain by it. Unless we fight Canelo, then I'll look at it because now we got something to gain. I have a custom that when my fighters finish the fight, they leave. I don't bother them. I leave them because it's like a father training a son. You know, you go home with him and you're with him all. He'll be with me for 10 weeks, 12 weeks. I think they need the time for themselves. So I haven't had a chance to sit down with Gennady and talk about the fight or go over the tape or anything like that. If the fight is made and he comes to camp, then we'll sit down and with the fight without the sound in the fight and analyze it. But I believe he won the first one. I believe if we do the same thing we did in the first one, we'll win again. I don't think that he can press any more than he did. I think that Canelo lied to us about how he was going to fight the fight. Although he fought a great fight not to get knocked out, he fought a very good fight not to get knocked out. But in order to give the fans what he said he was going to give them, I think that he needs to exchange with Golovkin, and we'll see who knocks who out. Look, maybe he hits Golovkin with a great shot and Golovkin is hurt, and Canelo being a great finisher finishes him. But that's not going to happen when you have a track meet. That's not going to happen when all you do is move and move and move and you don't sit there long enough to be able to be considered a fight. The Hagler-Leonard fight, even though Leonard had to be careful with Hagler, was not a boring fight like that. They exchanged. In this fight, it was difficult to exchange because the guy was on his bicycle.
I have a follow-up question. It's just burning inside for me to ask you. Why couldn't Gennady cut off the ring?
He did cut off the ring.
But as effectively.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Why couldn't Canelo cut off the ring on Lara? You know, when a guy doesn't want to get caught, he's going to run as much as he can. Golovkin can only do
what the guy gives him, right?
Not only what the guy gives him, but what he can do without exposing himself, without just making a stupid mistake. You're obviously fighting a very good fighter in Canelo. Canelo had the same difficult time with Lara that because of the running that Golovkin had with him. Although we won the fight, it's just when you talk a certain fight before the fight and you fight an opposite fight, I think that we're all disappointed. We as fans are disappointed. If the rematch is made, I believe that Canelo has the pressure on him to make it more of a fight. And who knows? He landed some shots in this last fight. Who knows? He's a good puncher too. So I think that we deserve, as fans, we deserve something better than what he gave us the last time.
And a rematch. I think it's going to happen. And
I hope so. It's the fight that needs to happen for our sport. It's a fight that needs to happen because it's the biggest fight right now financially in the sport. I think it's a fight that nobody's going to stop asking about it until it's done. And if it's a good fight, like better than the first one, who knows? It could be a third one.
That'd be a good little thing. A series of 3 fights.
We need it in our business. We need those. Israel Vasquez was just here, right, in this press conference. Israel Vasquez had 4 of them. Yeah. With Marquez, and they were all great. The last one maybe not as good as the first 3, the eye, yeah. But still they were good fights. So I think we need it as a business, we need it as a sport, and if it happens, I think we'll all be better for it.
All right, Abel, I know you're on short time. Thank you, my man. Really appreciate it. It's good seeing you. Happy New Year as well.
Happy 4th of July too, in case I don't see you.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'll see you by then. At the very least, I'll see you by May. All right. By May 5th, okay? Abel Sanchez here in Los Angeles. I'm Marcos Viegas for Fight Up TV.